So what's the difference between an apple pie crumble and an apple crisp? Well, obviously the apple pie has a crust on the bottom, and apple crisp does not have the crust on the bottom. So I've decided that I'm going to do a apple pie crisp crumble. And why not? I get the best of both worlds. And let's start by preparing our apple filling. I recommend using 2 different types of apple to give you that enhanced flavor. So I'm using 3 Granny Smith and 2 Fuji apple here. Definitely peel your apples before cutting them. Otherwise, you would have the chewy texture in your apple pie. The full recipe is in the description box below, along with oven baking instructions, so make sure you check the oven baking section. I'm cutting the apples into cubes, but you can chop it or slice it if you want. It doesn't matter. I think cubes just fits better into the rice cooker. After 5 minutes in the bowl, as you can see, there's a lot of juice on the bottom already. You want to go ahead and drain this in a sieve or a colander, and make sure you cover it to prevent it from over drying. While the apple is draining, let's make our pie crust. And this is where, if you are making an apple crisp, you can skip the pie crust completely. I'm not good at making pie crust, so this is the way I found easiest for me. You can use store-bought pie crust or make it however you like. You can use a fork, pastry cutter, or a food processor to mix the butter in until it's combined. The dough should be powdery, but when you press it together, it should hold its shape. And mine wasn't shaping out well, so I added 1 teaspoon of cold water. And I'm flattening it into a 9-inch or about 23 centimeter diameter. And now cut 2 long pieces of parchment paper and just lay it crisscross on top of the crust. Using a pastry cutter, a wide spatula, or a knife, and gently loosen the bottom of the dough all around, and then flip the crust over quickly and carefully. Carefully lower your crust onto the bottom of your rice cooker pot, and then flatten the bottom and the side as much as you can. And our filling has been sitting for about 30 minutes or so. As you can see, there's quite a bit of juice on the bottom. You can let it drain longer too if you want. And we're gonna cook it to thicken the sauce. You can do this over the stove on medium heat, but I'm going to microwave it. And looks like I over microwaved it a bit. It's a bit too thick, but hey, it's gonna still work. Pour your apple into it and then mix it until the sauce is all over your apple pieces. And we're doing this to make sure the majority of your apple pieces are coated with this tasty sauce. Distributing it to the bottom, along with just pressing it down slightly. So typically an apple crumble do not contain nuts or oats. So this is really a crisp because I am adding nuts and oats to it. Using the crisp, it will add that nice texture to our apple pie. I love hearing from you, so please comment below, even just to say hi. If you do make any of my recipe, I would love to see them. You can email me or upload them into my rice cooker Facebook page or tag me in any of these social media sites. at rice cooker baking. So if you're new to baking in your rice cooker, make sure you watch to the end for some important tips on how to bake in your rice cooker. And keep in mind that a bake cycle is anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes of hot high heat and 20 to 25 minutes of low heat, which is in warm status. And this is after the 4th bake cycle. Since it's not a cake, everything in here is edible from the start. I'm just gonna taste a piece of the apple to see how soft it is. And oh yeah, it's at the right texture for me, so I'm done baking. Now it will set a lot more if you let it cool for 3 to 4 hours, but I can't wait that long. Mine has been sitting for about 2 hours. I really appreciate you watching my video. I hope it was enjoyable. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't miss any of my recipes by clicking on that subscribe button and notification bell. I upload new videos every Saturday here on Life of Pang. And look at that juicy apple along with that thick sauce running down. Oh, so tasty. Using 2 varieties of apple really add that nice flavor. And this one is slightly tart and sweet. So until next week, happy baking in your rice cooker. For those new to baking in your rice cooker, please pause the video to read these important tips.